process behind moving the practice to a new location/building?
We'd been in the old building for about just over 10 years. We were coming up to the end of our lease agreement there anyway. So we had a choice. It was either finding a way of maintaining our stay at the old building and potentially giving us some expansion potential, or look for alternative arrangements. And we've been thinking and deliberating about it for probably about a year or two before the decision was taken. One of the big factors that came into play in that was COVID. That happened right in the middle of our decision-making process on that. So it inevitably did delay our decision by an extra year or two. But when we came to the conclusion that the old building was just not as big as it was, it didn't really have the facilities that we wanted moving forward. The rooms were not the right sizes. The layout wasn't really how we wanted it. And one of the biggest factors, which all our patients will know, is the stairs. The stairs at the old building were an absolute nightmare. They weren't great, especially for some of our older patients. We've been established there for a while now, and some of the patients that joined us very early on were getting to the position where they were struggling with the stairs. I dare say some of us were struggling with the stairs. So that was another big key factor in that we thought, if we're going to do a restart and a reset, wouldn't it be nice to find somewhere where we can build literally from scratch and design it the way we want?
Did you have any worries about moving the practice?
Oh, I'd been worried about it for years. Moving house is bad enough, but relocating a business, especially of this size, with the amount of hassle and the amount of work that was going to be needed to do it and pull it off was extraordinary. And you can plan as well as you like for these things, but they never go 100% according to plan. And you always have so many learning experiences as you go through it. So I was well aware of how monumentous the task would be, but looking back at it now, it really had taken a lot out of us.
What has it been like working in this new building for the past year?
I mean, this is an absolute dream. You ask any dentist the moment they graduate, what type of practice would you want to work in? And if they were shown a practice like this, and this is not arrogant to say this is an absolute dream for any dentist to work in, just purely because of the comfort, the feel, the convenience of where everything is located. It's been tailor-made specifically to make your life and your job as easy as possible to be able to treat your patients, but at the same time, you can have that difference of clinical area versus non-clinical, which is just non-existent in most practices. As well as that, the patients are coming in completely relaxed before they've even... So that stress factor element that normally, I hate being in the dentist environment statement that comes in at the start of pretty much every appointment that we've ever lived through, just doesn't happen. And it's a stark contrast to working in any other practice. I know I've got a second practice, I know the difference. I could see the environment that's been set and created. And that makes a big difference to us being able to work in that environment, and also just the ability to have everything laid out the way we want it to and organised the way we want it to is really a dream come true.
Can you recall how you felt when you first saw the practice completed?
It honestly didn't sink in with me for a while, simply because I was still in logistical mode for a while. It wasn't truly finished. There wasn't a set date that I knew it was going to be done by. There were lots of little tweaks and adjustments that still needed to be done. And at the same time, we were only closed technically for a week. So it wasn't a huge amount of time to really transfer everything across and rebuild. And we only opened the 3 surgeries to begin with. Then the other 2 surgeries were finished and all 5 surgeries were working a week later. But even then, there were little technical glitches and all sorts of sort of IT issues and everything else. As happens, this place is stark full of technology from top to bottom. And it was never going to work and function 100% from day one, as we all know. So it took a while for it to sort of gel and for us to figure things out as we were going along. So I don't think there was an actual moment. I think this is actually the time that I look back and reflect. And it's only starting to sink in about now, if I'm completely honest.
Do you feel that patients and staff alike are a lot happier in this new environment?
It's a completely different atmosphere and it's a completely different environment. I loved our old place. So many happy memories, so many amazing memories. It's where I progressed as a dentist. It's where a lot of my staff really took their customer service skills to another level. So many amazing memories and treatments and lives that we've changed. But now this is a different level. This is us really being in the big time in terms of everything that we can provide, in terms of the qualifications of all the staff, in terms of the training, the level of customer service and everything. So, and I think we recognise that as a team, we recognise that this is a real step up. We know what we've got, we know how incredible it is, but with that comes the responsibility to be able to deliver as well, and we're stepping up to that.
As time has passed, how does your experience compare to what you expected with the new practice?
It's gone as I wanted. It's really interesting because it was only really in the last couple of weeks that I was sitting in reception actually. And I can't remember what prompted me to think about this, but I looked back at a promise or a statement that I'd made for myself 10 years ago as I was buying the first Black Swan practice, 12 years ago nearly now. It'll be a 12-year anniversary in a few months. And I remember looking back at that statement and going, in 10 years, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to own. And that was actually it. And I'd completely forgotten that. I wanted to have a practice that was absolutely stunning to patients, absolutely comfort providing, looking like a 5-star hotel experience in every single way, with a training facility built in place, and all the various expertise of various different team members that are all helping to provide that really unique patient experience, and to make it something which is talked about across the country. Not so much from a sort of big-headedness point of view, but to know that it's something that's not easy to do. It's something that's unique. And it's true, the last 10 years have not been easy. 99% of people in dentistry will not be able to achieve what we've achieved here, simply because it has required a huge and absolute stunning amount of sacrifice in that particular time to be able to get it to that level. And unfortunately, only a few of us are insane enough to have the willingness to be able to put that level of effort in and stuff to drive you to achieve what you actually wanted.
What are you hoping to accomplish with the practice in the future? Any teasers?
Future prospects are interesting. We don't actually have all the answers yet. We've got space to grow further. What we want to do with that space, the world's our oyster at the moment. We have a few ideas and plans. I think one of the things we'd like to expand is our facial aesthetics potential as it grows in this area. We'd also like to expand our media potential significantly and increase our capabilities. One of my dreams has always been to try and get dentistry to be a lot more mainstream in terms of the patients really understanding a lot of what we do. Because I believe that breaking down barriers and misconceptions and fears comes from understanding as well. There's a lot of fear that's from the unknown. We don't know what dentists do. We don't know what modern dentistry can really provide. So rather than us selfishly trying to just promote our services, it's about actually helping the rest of the country and bringing that into people's homes, whether it's through the medium of online information, whether it's through the medium of actual TV programs, whatever it is, but really trying to get the message and the information out there to actually be able to drive people to go to their local dentists much more easily with much less of a fear factor, understanding what it is, but at the same time having a level of customer service for the rest of the dentistries being provided across the country that can welcome people in. And I think it's going to take a very long time for us as a profession to break that down, but that's always been one of my passions. And with this new building and facility and all of the space that we've got here, we can hopefully start to put a slight start to that to really help that move forward.